Okay. How are we handling the new rules?
Not so bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, young all right.
I think we're
think,
quite good.
David, I think if there's a problem anywhere, it is what the defenders are doing,
Yeah.
not what the attackers are doing.
Yeah. It's. I think it's the defenders, and if you'd have watched, the Aslan Shah, watch the AHL, the defenders are 3 metres.
Yeah.
Some of them 3 metres max.
That far.
Yeah, some less. I was being nice, but some of them hardly moved at all. But the thing is, then you just got to sum up. You know, do we want the game to flow? Because them guys are taking the ball and they're running off anyway. Some of these guys aren't going to get 5 metres anyway because they're so quick. And the same thing, we've just got to be smart about it. Because if that ball, as soon as the ball travels 5 metres, we know it's allowed in there. But if they pass to someone else, like the thing is, if someone's caught inside that 5 and they want to reach out, obviously, then they're in trouble. It's not easy. Like we spent all that money putting a dotted line on, and now it's a waste of time.
Dave, the words that we used to get taught was influencing play. Is that still a relevant standard, or is there a preferred use? Okay.
Yeah. If you're influencing play, yeah, correct. Yeah, definitely. Most of them try and stay out. The one that's hard is when well, it's not hard, but the one that I see a fair bit, and sometimes the defenders will still get pinned for it, is there'll be a free hit, they'll take the self pass, that person is making the effort to get away, and they'll run straight at them, which they are not allowed to do. And what I do in the first instance with that is sort of, hey, you cannot run, that person is making an effort. If that person has planted their feet and not moving, no problem. But they are making the effort to get out of that 5. You have no right to run straight at them. You either go round them or back, or wherever, but you have no right to run straight at that person if they're making the effort.
Just a question on that.
Yep.
Notice some defenders will actually channel themselves to basically force you to go wide and stay within that line. So if he runs towards him, so it's a free against the ball carrier, but they're taking right, you can't go to the centre though. I'm saying you go wide, I'm offside, no, I'm still not wide.
Yeah.
So, you're still disadvantaging that ball carrier.
Yeah, you've just got to be smart about it. You can tell whether if they're trying to get straight out or they're going, like, if you know where the play is, like you're reading the game, you'll know yourself if that person's gone from there, running backwards to here, instead of going straight out, it's because this is where they want to go. They're not silly. So you've just got to judge each one on its merit. But the one I'm talking about is a guy straight away starting to backpedal and they run straight at him, like straight at him. You'll tell the difference anyway. And if you stop it and just give them to take it again, it's fine. There's no problem. But if you're not happy with what the defence has done, well, you deal with it. It's either professional or they've just been caught inside the 5. You know, it depends if they deliberately play it or not as well. It's a big difference. Yeah.
All right, just to clarify, I'm not very experienced as a hockey umpire. If the defender has caused an infringement, you've blown the whistle, and then the defender retreats directly between the ball and the goal box, but as quickly as possible, and the ball carrier taking the free hit, then decides to take that same line, does the ball carrier then still have to move around the defender who is not making an attempt to tackle, but it sort of still is occupying that space?
If he's making the effort to get out of there, the person that picks the ball up has no right to run straight at him. And you'll tell whether it's straight at, like they might just try and run beside them, which is fine. He can't make a tackle until the ball's travelled 5 metres anyway. But you'll tell whether they run straight at him or they'll make an effort. And if the guy backpedaling, you can tell whether he changes his line, because what they'll do, they'll be going here and then you'll see that they've moved deliberately. But it's not easy. It's not an easy game. Happens quick, you know. So nothing's easy out there.
So if they're deliberately running at them, like you get them to take it again the first instant, how many times do you let them go before you then reverse it? Because
Reverse.
It's not a reversal, well, it's a
If they
penalty.
continue to
It's
do
not a
it.
reversal, is it?
It's a free,
Once that they've actually taken it, so it's actually free.
It's a
It's not a reversal.
free
Sorry,
scout.
just get technical.
Technically, you're incorrect because it's going the other way.
because they're
It's a free defence. It's not a reversal.
It's another offence.
Yeah, it is. It's just a free.
It's a free hit.
It's a free the other way.
Another offence.
Yeah.
No, I was being.
So the person with the ball is saying, oh, but they're within
I was being
5,
cheeky.
I should get it again.
Pick one first.
And you're then going to change it and say, no, well, you're deliberately running into the players. So how many times do you allow them to run into the players before you
Yeah,
say...
once. And you'll know if it's the same person. And normally,
And the same thing if they hit it directly at the player, like if they go to hit the ball and that person's walking around, they're deliberately hitting at them, same thing?
unless you've got it on video and you can tell the angles, he might be trying to get it between his feet because he's got a player in the circle. Like
They'd
in the
be
Dutch,
skilled, they're not in their cell 5.
but I'm allowed to pass the ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you've got
So-
a right to
so-
pass, no right to run it.
Yeah, like if they're really close and you want to smash it, it's totally different. But if a person's trying to get out of the way and I want to belt it because I've got a player there I can pass the ball to, and I get hit, well, it's just bad luck. Because in the Dutch league there for a while, if you hit it towards them at all, they were given a free hit the other way, and they wanted us to do that at international level. We're going, hang on a minute, these guys are elite athletes, like they can hit the ball, you know, reverse and four stick through gaps like this, you know. So if they're making they've hit a pass, it's pretty hard to say unless they're really close and just want to stitch them up. I think you've just got to go with it. They're trying to pass the ball through them. Yeah.
I'd be presuming that in that case where the ball was being passed, say, through the legs, as you suggested, most defenders will instinctively move a stick in the way. That is not a deliberate breach. In your view, if the ball was
If they're moving away,
yes.
and they've put their stick in to protect themselves, that's fine. And you can tell the difference whether someone is trying to protect themselves or they've braced themselves. Yeah, and you'll see. And the thing is, if you're not 100% sure, that's right. You know, it's no good going for the juggler if you're not sure. So have we all read that? Do you want me to read it out? No, we're all good.
So the purpose of this rule, is it for the defender's safety?
I don't think so.
Or is that not the purpose of this seminar? Like, why? Is it
If-
just so people can't whack the ball straight at the goal
It's
box?
that was the big thing because you're always allowed to whack it straight into the circle, and what it stops is the flat out deflection that comes because actually, if you read the rules of hockey, we hit the ball right before this 5 metre rule come in, it deflected off a stick like a defender's stick and hit another defender inside the circle. Technically, it's a short corner. But there was a forgiven ruling, not in the rule book, that if it come from off a stick outside the circle and hit someone, it was a free hit outside. But there's nowhere in the rules that was ever printed. Nowhere. It was a gentleman's rule because the ball was being hit so hard, no one, you know, like the ball could only go this high, hit the top of the hook, then come up and smack someone and we've got a penalty corner. So it was just an agreement that it always went outside. And that sort of takes a lot of that away now because you're not allowed to hit the ball straight in. Yeah. Any other questions on that? No? Okay, after the ball is unintentionally played over the back line by a defender or deflected by a goalkeeper or player with the goalkeeping privileges and no goal is scored, play will now be restarted at the 23 metre line where it has crossed the back line. And I think the disengaged umpire can have a bit to do here because you've already got people in your circle and you've already got a lot of people sort of in and out the area. They'll always try and take it at least 5 metres either way so they can gain an advantage. Excuse me. So that's where the trailing umpire can help a bit, especially if you're down that far, and you can actually help out. Just over here, keep coming to your left, keep coming. Okay, we're happy there. And that's the thing. But you watch, the ball will go out over the back line. Not very often someone will take it directly where it went out. They'll always try and sneak it over there, or sneak it over here. It's just common. So that's pretty straightforward, that one. And you're still doing the long corner signal? Yep.
Yeah. Very.
It's a little confusing that for lower grade you're signalling a long corner, and a lot of them are still going towards the long corner.
Yep.
At the 5, not doing the 23, just because they're still used to doing it for so long.
That's actually an advantage for you.
It is.
It gives you a break.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you just blow the long corner,
Yeah.
and then you go, okay,
Yeah.
out we go. Yeah.
It's just
It's just education because it's new, and they're just dealing with the change at the moment. So, yeah.
Do you think that signal will change, or if we're going to lump it for the next 20 years?
I don't think it'll change. Yeah, I can't see it changing because it's always been a standard signal. But I've played this before. We played this years ago. Exactly the same. Yeah, we've played it at a few tournaments.
Yeah, AHL.
We had published about AHL.
Yeah.
Before we did try.
And my first ever Champions Trophy, we played no feet. Oh, it was the biggest nightmare you've ever had in your life.
That's quite a place to experiment.
It was horrific. It really was. It was just unbelievable. People couldn't believe it happened. And we only found out the night before the tournament was starting at the umpires briefing, because the managers only got told that day as well. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Teams spent the whole first night in the corridors changing the way they defend. Yeah, it was interesting because everyone was defending with make sure they got both feet together, so you couldn't get the ball past them because it was. Well, wouldn't be surprised if some of them wrap bandages around them just get a bit wider. Anything's possible.